Do you want a judge to do your teeth?
No!
No. So, this law that he whooped down made sure that a judge will never tell a patient that they can't use cannabis. They are not doctors. And it's without that, I'm going to be quick, to proudly introduce this troublemaker. They cuss his name all the way from Traverse City. Mr. Micheal Thue. Right away. Yes, we can. Thank you, Richard. Thank you too, man. I'm loving this.
The most hated man in Michigan.
Most hated man in Michigan. I've heard that a couple times this weekend already. Welcome, Hash Bash. Thank you guys for sticking around and still hanging out with us. Oh, man. Not too bad. The weather could be worse. You know, it's always could be worse. Again, yes, I'm Micheal Thue. I had the honor to fight on behalf of the patients. I've been doing it for a long time, but last year we had the opportunity to really make a stance and a statement and set precedents in law. Something that they can't just take back on us. It was the People versus Micheal Thue, the Court of Appeals number 353978. It passed on February 11th, 2021 for publication. Publication means it set precedents also and can be cited in other states across the country. The problem with that though now is not only being the most hated man, is we got a lot of people in opposition and a lot of prosecutors and judges. And so the Michigan Association of Court Professionals are pushing to pass House Bill 5512, right? They're trying to reverse the unanimous decision that the great team at Cormoran Law fought and won in the State Court of Appeals on behalf of myself. Cormoran Law. The judges and courts do not have the right to play doctor and tell us that cannabis is not a medicine. This is something I've been fighting since I came home from prison in 2008. I had the honor to come home and vote for this law, and I've fought for our rights on this issue ever since. I was the first person to discharge off parole using cannabis. The Attorney General, Attorney Mike Cox, that she was talking about, I threatened to sue them if they violated my rights on parole again, because they did once, and they put me in jail for 30 days. And at the time, I just ran out of money trying to fight them after a year and a half. This time, we were able to have the help from Cormoran Law to really be able to push this case through and set that precedence. Sadly, trying to restrict the rights that so many of us have tirelessly fought for with this House Bill 5512. But this is a God-given plant. They do not have the right to tell us that we cannot cultivate and consume this cannabis. Genesis 1:29, God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed that it is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which that is bearing seed. To you it shall be for meat." In verse 30, I have given you every herb for meat, and it was so. Verse 31, and God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. Right? I've been standing in front of judges since I was 17 years old citing this scripture. I was raised in the church. My dad is an ordained minister. I traveled as a youth evangelist, right? I didn't know what Michigan Normal was when I was younger. I didn't know these other great organizations in the fight for this drug, this natural plant medicine that we have today. But I've been incarcerated for it since I was 15 years old. So this has been a lifelong process for me. And to be able to finally set this in stone. And I encourage you guys really to get out there and get involved. The great organizations like Michigan Normal, like Decriminalize Nature, like the Last Prisoner Project that was mentioned with Michael Thompson, the Americans for Safe Access you'll hear from, the Michigan Freedom Coalition and Michael McCurdy that already spoke, right? There are other great organizations. I want you to get involved. Don't just show up here today, but actually take action. Take this energy, take this vibe that is in this city, and take it with you as you go forward and leave here and throughout this summer. The petition drives that are out there, do things to get involved. This fight is not over. We've heard from them. There's still people getting involved and arrested for cannabis. There's still people incarcerated for cannabis. There's still a gap from 18 to 21 that needs to be addressed, right? My niece should not get in trouble for her use of cannabis just because she's under 21, right? And also, remember, felons can vote. Felons can vote. When I came home from prison in 2008, I voted. I have voted at every election since. There are some restrictions, but you can vote. That is a huge misconception. So get out there, activate and initiate your right, and fight and make your voice heard. So, again, we still have people incarcerated while these corporations are paying taxes for doing the same thing. This is not okay. Free the prisoners, free Rudy Gamo, free Danny Trevino, free all these other people that are still incarcerated wrongfully for their cannabis. So I also have a couple of t-shirts. Let's see how far I can get these things.
We love you, Mike, too.
I love you, Reverend Steve. It was an honor to hear you say that to me when I walked in today, man. You're somebody I've looked up to in this industry for a long time. You and Melanie Carr, among many others. All right. So I have the honor to introduce the attorney. I have a great attorney that I had the honor to work with on this case. He's been involved in this industry for a long time. Attorney Micheal has been practicing law for close to 30 years. He is a skilled litigator and fighter and has proven in hundreds of criminal, civil rights, and civil litigation cases. He has worked to organize patient and caregiver rally events, taken on several pro bono cases for patients, caregivers, and less fortunate. He has fought to maintain the innocence of his clients through hard work, dedication, and many times using Michigan's Medical Marijuana Act and other cannabis laws as a sword to destroy his opponents. Camoran exposed an anti-scientific scheme by the State Police Crime Lab, nefariously used to charge and imprison innocent citizens a few years ago, and continues to highlight injustices within the system. He later sued them in federal court, forcing them to change their unscientific policy. Camoran was one of the attorneys who sued the state and the pharmacy board on behalf of John Sinclair and other victims to remove cannabis from the state's controlled substance list. Camoran was the legal counsel in the landmark People v. Thue case, in which the high courts upheld the rights for cannabis patients to use their medicine while on probation. I want to introduce to you, and please give a big round of applause and a thank you to attorney Micheal Camoran with Camoran Law.